So today I wanted to talk to y'all a little bit about how Jiu-Jitsu practitioners can learn from Sambo and just briefly touch on how Sambo can learn from Jiu-Jitsu and reasons you should cross-train. So the first one, obviously, is takedowns. So I think we have the most diverse takedown game because we have both leg grabs and upper body takedowns with like judo style with the gi. I think we have a really good diversity of takedowns. A lot of times at jiu-jitsu clubs, I'll see them kind of go one way or the other in terms of takedowns. They'll either go for the judo style takedowns or the wrestling style lower body takedowns, like double legs, single legs, ankle picks, things like that. They typically go in one path or the other, and it's typically no gi classes that go more towards the wrestling and gi classes that go a little bit more towards the judo. But I think if you come to Sambo, you'll get a little bit more diversity in your takedowns, being able to chain your judo attacks with your wrestling style attacks and your wrestling style attacks with judo. I think that's a huge benefit. Obviously, there are wrestlers that are really good at judo style takedowns and no-gi, and there are judo people who are starting to really learn the leg picks, all the doubles, singles, all that sort of thing. There's kind of a merging going on now, things with like Jay Flow doing his no-gi judo, adding in some leg stuff. You'll see Shintaro Agashi show some old school judo with the leg picks and everything added in. So there's a little bit of a merging, but I think Sambo still has the most diverse range of takedowns. And if you come cross-train, I think you'll see that. The next big thing, and this kind of goes for judo into jiu-jitsu as well, is I think our transitions are the best. We have chokes in combat, we have arm bars and leg locks. We don't have rotational leg locks. That's the only thing. No heel hooks and no toe holds. But those aren't really that hard to learn after you already know like an ankle lock and a straight knee bar or a calf slicer. They're not that hard to learn. But when we throw, if let's say we do a ankle pick, most of us have really good transitions into a knee bar or an ankle lock off of lower body takedowns, or we have quick transitions into an arm bar off of something like an Osoto. So I think that's where we really benefit, or jiu-jitsu people could benefit from cross-training. And it's been something that whenever I go to jiu-jitsu, that's how I tend to catch upper level belts, because I'm only a blue belt in jiu-jitsu right now, but I tend to catch higher level belts who are better at submissions and better on the ground than me overall. Whenever you take the unlimited amount of time on the ground that they have, they're definitely better on the ground than me, but if I can throw them and transition straight into a submission, that's where I tend to catch those higher level belts, and I think a lot of jiu-jitsu guys could benefit from that, because they're starting to learn the judo, and they're starting to really learn the wrestling a lot more. It's become a big thing in jiu-jitsu to get better at your takedowns, but I think getting better at not just the takedowns, but the transition itself is one big benefit of Sambo. And we also have the leg locks, unlike judo. So we have something that's more in the meta of jiu-jitsu right now. Leg locks are a big meta in jiu-jitsu. So you can learn how to transition from taking someone down straight into a leg lock. The next one is pinning. I think us in judo are some of the best pinners in grappling. Wrestling's very good at pinning, but I think due to the shorter amount of time, the 3 seconds that they have to pin, they're not quite as good at controlling that pin for longer periods of time. I think judo and sambo are the best at that, and it can really wear down your opponents in jiu-jitsu. If you pass their guard and you're constantly shoving your shoulder in their face, you're putting a lot of top pressure chest to chest and starting to make it hard for them to breathe. I think it wears down a lot of jiu-jitsu guys a lot faster, and it's something that I've used really consistently whenever I go to jiu-jitsu or like no-gi grappling classes, is really using that heavy top pressure to start wearing out my opponents. And I think that's a big way that jiu-jitsu guys could benefit from cross-training. One way Sambo can benefit from jiu-jitsu is a little bit more of a complicated ground game. Our ground game is kind of bare bones, similar to to judo, because we only have like 5 to 10 seconds to really make something happen, make some action happen before the ref stands us up. And people will really hunker down in a turtle and make it hard for you to get a submission or get a pin. You have to transition very quickly, and it can't be something so complicated that it takes 10, 20, 30 seconds to set up the attack itself. They'll just stand you up before that ever happens. So it leads to a little bit more of a bare bones, rudimentary ground game. Very effective, but a little bit more bare bones. So I think we could learn a little bit more of chaining attacks together on the ground like we do in standing in Sambo. I think that'd be important for us to learn. Something like transitioning from a Jujigatami or a straight armbar to a triangle, back to an armbar, using that to maybe even invert and go for a leg lock. Things like that are things that I've learned more from Jiu-Jitsu than I have from Sambo, but that's just plainly due to the rule set. So I think those are some really good things that would be beneficial for Jiu-Jitsu practitioners or Sambo practitioners to cross-train in both sports. That's a huge way for us to get better. Cross-training is, at least by me, always pushed. I want all my guys to cross-train in wrestling, judo, Jiu-Jitsu. I want all the grappling sports to come together and keep elevating the level for all of us. So leave a comment down below on any more things you think Jiu-Jitsu could improve from Sambo, or Sambo can improve from Jiu-Jitsu. And if you have cross-trained in both, let me know your experience. Let me know some things that you did or didn't do that you think would help everyone else. Let's make the comment section really productive. And if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, subscribe, and ring that notification bell. Have a good day, y'all.